You spent the majority of the year at AAA. A tough place for pitchers. The International League has a really crazy run environment. You're dealing with the automatic strike zone, which is very different from what I'm sure you were used to. What'd you learn from being in AAA?
Everyone has a better approach up there, and everyone's been playing a long time, and it's just an adjustment, really. The strike zone's a little bit smaller, and you have to be in zone because the veterans aren't going to swing out of zone if you don't get in zone first. And just really tinkering with my repertoire, and then finally this offseason I got it. The last few starts last year I had it dialed into the 5 pitches that I want, and I know that that's what I'm going to use going forward.
Brandon Sproul told us one of the first times we spoke to him about the mind games that you encounter at AAA that guys are using that they don't use at AA. Did you encounter that as well?
Yeah, it's a different game completely.
Hey, welcome to Meet at the Apple. I'm Vito Calisi. That's Jonathan Barron. We're here with Blade Tidwell. Blade, it's your first time at Major League Camp. How's it going so far? How do you like it on this side of things?
It's a lot slower pace over here, and it's a lot more about people getting their work done. Over there, it's kind of a little bit more chaotic. I like it over here better, obviously, but it's been nice. Everybody's been super nice and super willing to help if I need anything or have any questions.
First time we met you, Blade, like Vito said, over on minor league camp, the minor league camp side, sitting at a picnic table,
the sun,
ducking foul balls, just all sorts of grassroots situations, scenarios. Now we're here on the big league side, and you look like a different guy. First time I saw you this spring, I was like, I mean, I knew it was you, but I kind of had to do a double take. What'd they feed you this offseason?
Been eating a lot of steak and a lot of sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato. You hear that, Dave?
He's a big sweet potato guy.
And everyone knocks me for it. It's the best carb you could possibly eat.
I agree.
Do you like chicken also?
I do.
Okay.
Do you like chicken?
Well, I mean, you said steak, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. Have you been to the chicken place yet, the restaurant?
I have not. I don't
You
know
have
what
not?
you're talking about.
Let me put you on.
Dude, it's right near the hotel. Like walking distance.
So it's in the shopping center. You know where the Fresh Market is?
It's
Yeah.
called the Chicken Place to be specific.
Oh,
Fresh Market's on the right side. Chicken Place is the building space on the left side of that strip. It is a Kyle G's own spot. I'm sure you've heard of Kyle G's.
going there today.
Going there today. And it's a Latin-infused rotisserie chicken type place, but they have steak, they have salmon, they have everything you could ever imagine. You can get a whole rotisserie chicken, 2 sides, like $30. I mean, it seems like it's right up your alley.
What's
Yeah,
the waiter you
it
should
would
tell? That you know.
Preston's our guy.
Tell Preston that John said hello. Tell him John sent you.
Do that.
I will.
But in all seriousness, it looks like you've been working out. What kind of offseason did you have?
I had a pretty slow pace one as far as traveling and things like that. I kind of just stayed home and got my work in. Did the off-season training programs that they sent me, and then me and Grayson Crawford kind of came up with my throwing program, and we tinkered it a couple times to where it suited me best, and then just kind of rolled with that.
Let's talk about your live yesterday. How did it feel to get out there, get some eyes on you, throw?
Felt great. The first one of the year in front of people was always going to be a little bit more adrenaline, but it was nice, and I was kind of calm, more calm than I was the previous years starting out with fans, there, but it was nice. I kind of stumbled the first at bat when I clipped Jet, but
We weren't going to bring it up, but
after that I settled in and did well.
yeah, Jet was in that seat a few hours ago. He seemed good, so I think all's well that ends well in that situation. But let's talk a little bit about last year. You spent the majority of the year at AAA. A tough place for pitchers. The International League has a really crazy run environment. You're dealing with the automatic strike zone, which is very different from what I'm sure you were used to. What'd you learn from being in AAA?
That everyone has a better approach up there, and everyone's been playing a long time, and it's just an adjustment, really. The strike zone's a little bit smaller, and you have to be in zone because the veterans aren't going to swing out of zone if you don't get in zone first. And just really tinkering with my repertoire, and then finally this offseason I got it. The last few starts last year I had it dialed into the 5 pitches that I want, and I know that that's what I'm going to use going forward.
You know, Brandon Sproul told us one of the first times we spoke to him about the mind games that you encounter at AAA that guys are using that they don't use at AA. Did you encounter that as well?
Yeah. It's a different game completely.
Stadiums are different. I mean, talk about the biggest difference between AA and AAA. You were on that Rumble Ponies team that wound up making the playoffs, a very exciting team, a lot of great young talent at that team. And then you go to AAA. Talk about the biggest competitive differences that you notice between the two leagues.
The people that you're playing with are older, so they're more mature, and then everyone's got a family, so it's just a different lifestyle. In AA, it's got a more college vibe, and then once you get AAA and beyond, I think it's more big league.
Music in the clubhouse a little bit different also, what they're playing, the tunes.
The vibe's just a little bit different.
I heard you before, you did a little thing with social media, and they asked you about some baseball people that are inspirations and have helped you a lot. And you mentioned Dave Stormy Weathers, former Mets relief pitcher, had a long major league career. What's your relationship like with Dave Weathers? How'd you guys link up?
He's actually from my hometown, and him and his son, me and Ryan Weathers, the starting pitcher for the Marlins, actually throw together in the offseason, and we throw bullpens and work out together. But David was my travel ball coach when I was 9, and then he was my high school coach for all 4 years, my middle school coach for 3 years. So I've kind of known him my whole life.
So another guy you've known for a while is Drew Gilbert. And I remember we spoke to you, I think days after Drew got traded here, right? Well, over on the Polka Plaza.
Oh, yeah, when the Rumble Ponies at Somerset and the music and the disaster and the rain delay and Jacob Wilkins. Is this ringing a bell?
I don't know if you remember the polka music playing. We were panicking. We were sweating trying to set things up.
Jacob Wilkins was bringing everyone over at once.
We've had terrible experiences trying to get you on the pod. I think last time you came up and we didn't realize you were coming up, and then you had to get back down right away, so we didn't even get to talk to you while we were talking to Sproat. But let's go. Drew Gilbert, it was days after. You told us right after, you were like, me and Drew spoke. Drew's pumped to be here. He told me the pitchers here are like beast. This rotation is nuts. What has it been like, you guys getting to play in college together and move up into the organization together?
It's been really cool. You know, it was kind of a shock to everyone whenever he came over 2 years ago at the end of the year while I was in AA. And he was my roommate last year. He got hurt, obviously. Missed a lot of last year. But when he got back, it definitely made day-to-day a lot more fun and a lot more energetic.
And did you guys get to celebrate together the Vols national championship?
We didn't. He wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay. That was 23.
He was still injured.
Oh, okay. They won last year, right? 2024? Yeah. But did you celebrate it personally?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was watching. I was fired up.
Have you gotten to work with Jeremy Hefner while you've been over here?
I've spoken to him a few times. We haven't worked one-on-one yet, but it's kind of chaotic right now because it's the first few days of camp.
And do you get, we like asking guys this, do you get a chance to, have you had a chance yet to talk to some of the major leaguers and just get some notes, compare, get some just advice from them?
Yeah, it's more just the mental side and just how they view things. It's not necessarily like a grip or this, something specific like that. It's more like how they approach things and how they go about their business and what their mindset is and why they do what they do.
Who were some of the pitchers that you looked up to when you were a youngster?
I like Pedro Martinez, and I like Tim Lincecum.
Those are good ones.
A lot of Cy Youngs between those two.
Have you got to talk about Jonah Tong? Loved Tim Lincecum growing up. Obviously, has modeled his delivery after him a little. But you know what? That's a good time to bring up just another guy. The people coming up after you now, have you gotten to connect with them and just because you're, it's interesting being in the minor leagues where you haven't gotten to the show yet, but these guys at AA, single A, low A, they come to you and ask you hey, what's it like where you've been? How are you dealing with the adjustments?
Some people have, and I just give them my honest opinion about it. Me and Tong have talked a lot, and I actually just gave him a glove.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did he ask for one, or was it a little gift?
I had a Mizuno glove, and I'm not with Mizuno, so I just gave it to him because he was with Mizuno.
Very nice. Cool. Nice guy.
Nice guy.
We're looking forward to our gloves next time.
Well, Blade, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast. You can follow this podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Vito F. Khaleesi, John at JMB9191. And Blade, look forward to seeing what you do this year, man.
Thank you.